Okay, so let's talk about perception, as in the five senses. And the question being, does perception construct reality as we perceive it? Does perception create the world that you see around you? And let's explore this understanding through a thought experiment. So let's say that you're in a room, or I'm in a room, and in this room there's just us, there's just me, and I'm holding in my hand an apple. And I can use my five senses to perceive this apple. I can see it, I can smell it, taste it, I can hold it, I can feel it in my hands. And of course, if I drop it, I'll hear the apple fall. Now, what would happen to the apple if I were to eliminate my five senses one by one? So starting with your sense of sight. So let's say your sense of sight would disappear. Now a certain quality of the apple would obviously disappear as well. Any light reflecting off of the apple wouldn't be perceived. There wouldn't be colors. So a certain quality of the apple is now gone. You can still smell it, taste it, and feel it, and hear it. What if we eliminate our sense of smell? A little more of the apple will disappear, right? Eliminate your sense of taste. Obviously, you won't be able to taste the apple anymore. At this point, you can still feel the apple and you can gather a lot of information about it. But notice how a lot of the apple has disappeared. A lot of those qualities of the apple that you pick up on are gone. You can feel a certain shape and you can tell it's an apple. But until you taste the apple or smell it, you can't really tell if you're holding an apple, even though it feels like you're holding an apple. Now, what would happen if you were to eliminate your sense of hearing and your sense of touch? The apple disappears completely. How do you know what you're holding? Do you even know where you are at this point? Now, of course, they say that besides your five senses, you do have additional senses like your sense of where you are, your sense of balance, your sense of spaciousness around you. You may get a sense of that. You can sense your own body. There may be sensations or certain feelings within your body that you may be able to pick up on. But let's say we got rid of those as well. The question now is, what exactly is out there in the absence of perception? Are you even holding an apple? You obviously don't know what you're holding. You don't even know you have a body. all those qualities that told you that was an apple that you're holding are no longer perceived. So in a sense, you can say you're constructing the world through your five senses. You might argue and say that there is still something out there that that I could perceive if I had my five senses. Just because I lost my five senses does not mean that there is no such thing as an apple. But think deeply about this. Assuming you're still alive, even though you don't have any of your senses, you need your five senses to pick up the qualities of the objects in your environment. You need to pick up objective qualities in order to make sense of the world, in order to define the world, right? Even though your intelligence may be present as your awareness, you know you're existing, but that intelligence cannot consciously explore the territory, so to speak, and make sense of what is out there. It doesn't even know what's out there. So if it doesn't know what's out there, how can it label and define what is out there? How can it talk about colors or shapes or weight or hardness or textures?